Hi, my name is Adolf El Assel, and I'm a filmmaker from Egypt, but I grew up in Luxembourg.
Okay.
Denmark,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really nice. It's a really nice country. The people are really nice. Like the country, like the people, the setting, like how people are open. Like I feel it's like they're quite open. And I'm looking forward also to screen my film tonight at the festival here in Aarhus. Yeah, Sawah is my second feature film. I've been working on it for the past 5 years or so, or 6 years even now. Yeah, it was a very rough ride to get this film off the ground because it was a very ambitious project. Because first, like the subject matter, I always want to tell a story in a funny way with some very dramatic issues, and also putting the multicultural aspect that I know from Luxembourg and all over Europe here. That is like in Europe, it's like in Europe we have a lot of stereotypes towards lots of different people, and that's something that I really wanted to play with. And coming from a small country like Luxembourg, it's very special because we speak like four languages on a daily basis. So we can switch from English to German to French to Luxembourgish to one more language if we have uh, another background. Like in my case, I speak as well Arabic. So I wanted to put all this also into that film. And lots of people they always say that comedies don't travel. Okay, like they say that comedy it's usually very local and so on. And that was also a challenge for me, trying to make a film where I can show it as wide as possible, not only in my home country, like Luxembourg, which is very small, but all over the world, and using also actors from different countries, different backgrounds, and trying to get this mix together, trying to tell a story to entertain, but also at the same time to make people think. And so it was very rough ride trying to make this film in general, because as I said, like it took so many years to write. First of all, because I co-wrote it with two writers, one from Canada, another one from like he's Luxembourgish, but he's got Iraqi background. He used to be also a refugee, and it was really good to have those people on board because we managed to get a story together that's only like that could be easily told, and to have it as like as international as possible. And, with my Canadian writer, for example, his name is Dennis Foon. He's got like over 40 years of experience, and like having him on board was really eye-opening because thanks to him, we were able really to get this type of humor, like some sort of North American humor, also part of the story, but not too stereotyped. So like, because he understood the issue as well because of his own background, his own family background, and so on. And my other writer, he also because of his own background, because coming as a refugee from Iraq to Luxembourg years ago, so he also knew like the subject matter. And I really didn't want to do a film about the refugee crisis or about stereotypes and so on, not to focus too much on that, but really trying to tell a story that anyone can fall into those issues that happen in the film. Like my main character Samir, like I really want to have an Egyptian actor for that. That was also a big challenge trying to find the right actor because I want to have an actor that speaks perfectly English. So to show that he's educated, he comes from a middle class background, that he has dreams to achieve, that like he loves his country, but at the same time he's a bit frustrated because he doesn't get the opportunities that he can really get, and using his talents at the most, which is something which is real at the moment in like all over the Arab world because so many people are educated, and for them it's really hard really to find the right opportunities. So they try their luck somewhere else, and it's even harder for them somewhere else trying to achieve their dreams. So that's something that I really wanted to play with. And adding to him, I was very lucky to get lots of actors from different countries, like from Luxembourg, from Egypt. Like in Egypt, I have, for example, like Karim Kassem, who plays the main part, Mahmoud El who's a famous Egyptian actor, Sarah Abdelrahman, okay. Khaled Mansour, who's also an Egyptian actor. So I was quite lucky to get those people on board, and also I was very lucky to have also some European actors who are quite established, like for example Jean-Luc Couchard or Mourad Zegendi. Those are Belgian actors who are actually I'm a big fan of their work, and I was very lucky to have them because I wrote the parts with them in mind, and I approached them like years ago, and they tell me no, 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 I don't want to play parts like that anymore, and so on. But after reading the script, they loved it so much. They said, "I want to play in this, whatever it costs. I really want to be part of this project." So I was very, very happy to have them on board like that. And so, like this whole thing, it was a nice adventure coming from a small country like Luxembourg, and the film has been traveling quite a lot in festivals all over the world. Like over the past 6 months, like I went from China to Canada to Africa to Asia to I don't know. Like it's been screened at over 40 festivals so far. Yeah, and tonight I'm really excited because it's going to be the first time I'm going to screen it in Scandinavia. So I'm really interested to see how people will react to the film because I like Scandinavian humor, especially because I started filmmaking like for me like dogma films. That was like the way how I got into filmmaking because just like take what you have and tell a story and that's what. So I'm really, really excited, especially here in Aarhus because it has a big cultural scene, and I heard that the audience is also quite interesting. Like, so I'm really looking forward to show the screen, and also talking to the audiences and see what they think about the film. Sawah, yeah, like because most Arabs they know the word Sawah because of this famous song by Abdul Halim Hafiz, who's one of the biggest artists in the Arab world. Like he wrote this, like he sang this song like I don't know 50, 60 years ago, and the song has many different meanings as well. Like because Sawah means someone who's traveling or someone who's lost, and I wanted to have this title, and I also want to have the original song, but unfortunately it was quite impossible to get it. It was a bit hard, but I really wanted to keep that title, and so I had to be a bit creative using that because the word Sawah, it's also something that's very like in the film itself. We see this, like we see this character who's lost, we see this character who's traveling. So I wanted to be part of it. Plus, I like short titles. Plus, it's original. I feel it's original. It's exotic. Like it brings back to my roots as an Egyptian. Yeah, and so on. So that's something that I really wanted to be part of, to put it in there. And I created this fake song in the film called Sawah as well, that is used throughout the film. For me, that was now like if you see the film, like there's Arabic in it, there's French, there's English, there's Luxembourgish, there's a bit of German, a bit of Icelandic, a bit of Portuguese. And as I said, like because Luxembourg is such a multicultural country, we know, like for us, that we can really speak many languages at the same time. Like I can talk to you now in French or in German, the same thing, accent free, without a problem, because that's how we live. And I wanted to have it as authentic as possible, because the whole story is told from the point of view of an Egyptian, okay, who's lost in this whole mismatch of cultures and colors and people and so on. And I really wanted to keep the Arabic, like really the Egyptian part of the Egyptian actors to speak Egyptian, okay, and like the Luxembourgish part they speak Luxembourgish, the French speaking part they speak French, and then the main parts the Karim, because English is like the international language, like everyone speaks English, so the main character Samir, like he speaks English because that's the only way he can interact with all those different people. So it's quite funny to have this like that, and actually to have this Arab who's actually the only one in the whole film who speaks perfectly English. That's something that I really wanted to put forward. Like for me, the main thing is because the situations in the film, actually 80% of the film, what you will see on screen, it's all those things that happen to me in real life. Okay, like for me, I travel quite a lot. Like it happens here in Europe so many times that people they mistake me for someone else, or they think that my story is very sad and that I had some war in my country and so on. And that wasn't the reason my parents came to Europe. And but the thing is, like, I just want to tell that anyone can become a refugee. Like, really, it's something that could happen to anyone all over the world, and even in Europe. Okay, just go back 70 years ago. Like, I don't need to repeat this, what was happening. Like, most Europeans they went outside Europe, okay, as refugees. Okay, to most countries, like where now most refugees come from. So there's something like anyone can be a refugee, and that's something that I really wanted to tell, that with stereotypes that we judge people very quickly. Like for example, if you tell most Europeans, you tell them about Arabic culture, they will tell you, okay, all Arabs eat couscous, okay, or now all Arabs eat falafel, okay, but they don't know the rich history of the Arab world. They don't know like the culture, what we have. Like if you tell them Kulthum or Fairuz or Abdel Halim or Adel Imam or Mohammed Henedi or I don't know, like the culture is so like rich, and most of like people in the West, they don't know about that because over the past 20 years, all we hear is just wars and dictators and stuff like that. And I really wanted to show that we Arabs, we are nice, nice people. Okay, we can easily integrate as well. Okay, and I'm a case like that. Like for me, I arrived in Luxembourg also by mistake, just like Samir in the film, because that's based. That's how my parents like. That's how it worked for us in real life. I was able to integrate easily. I could speak the different languages. My wife, she's from Luxembourg. I'm proud of my Egyptian roots. I really love my roots. Okay, and I also love Luxembourg because it gave me so many opportunities that like for example the languages, education, traveling. Okay, this helps. And so on. So that's something I really wanted to put forward. And all the characters in the film, you'll see that like I play a lot with stereotypes where we judge people based on the color or where they're from easily, like really quickly. And so that's something that's really deep in me and how I try to play with it. And that's my style of filmmaking as well. So all my films, they always have those issues or those themes, and I try to tell stories around that all the time. My next project, I'm very lucky because I hope I will not wait again like so many years to make my next film because recently I just received funding for the writing and development for my next project that hopefully I will be shooting next year and that I'm currently writing. And I'm using the same the themes like identity, traveling, stereotypes, and so on. Also from point of view of an Egyptian. And this time the story will go from Luxembourg to Canada to Egypt. And so it's a little bit the other way around, not from Egypt to Luxembourg, but I will turn around. And the tone of the film will be a bit lighter. Like it will have funny elements in it, but it will be a bit more dramatic. And it's also based on one episode of my life where I was chasing the American dream. Like when I was young, I was very frustrated based on my origins, because also my name, like I have such a crazy name as well, like Adolf El Assel. Like when you see this name, people they always wonder why, how, and so on. So I'm gonna play a lot with that, and it's the second part of a trilogy of three films that I'm planning to do. Yeah, so now hopefully maybe in a couple of years, maybe I can show the film here in Aarhus as well. Like I'd be very happy to come back here. Said I'm very excited. Okay, because as I said, like the film also, I'm a bit prepared. Let's say it like that, because I've shown the film to so many different audiences. As I said, like I went to Beijing, to South Korea, to so many different countries. Okay, and here I feel the audience will be like it's a special audience, and like, I really can't wait to be there in the room, like in the cinema with the people, and to experience this. And I'm also a bit nervous because I heard it's sold out, so that's something that's quite exciting as well. And I'm looking forward also like to meet different people here and to discuss with the audiences and see how they feel. Maybe they hate it, maybe they love it. I don't know. So we'll see. So you can ask me the same question tomorrow, like how did I feel